Welcome everyone to this beautiful day. And someone once told me that every day we were given as a brand new gift, a clean slate, and every morning we wake up we should think, what are we going to do with this day? What am I going to do to serve other people, help other people, make this world a better place, and better myself? So today I would like to serve you by teaching you about a financial software. It's an online tool that can literally help you get out of debt very quickly and very rapidly out of debt. And most of us in our relationships, either both of us are financially illiterate, or one of us is a stronger financial person, the other one's a weaker financial person. And so the way that they are using their software and doing their budget and creating the finances, if that person was no longer able to run the finances, the other partner would have no clue how to do that. And I've seen that so many times. And in fact, I had this one couple that he was so frustrated with the finances and trying to put together his budget, so he made his own plan. His wife took one look at it and says, forget it, I'm not even going to touch it. You have to run it completely or else it's not happening. So I do know that there are situations where one spouse is a stronger financial person than the other one. So what I'd like to teach you today about is called Tranont OneView, and it teaches us to take control of our finances. And so why do most individuals not take advantage of opportunity? And it says lack of understanding, limited knowledge, and the fear of change. And I, on the other hand, put fear of change as number one. So many people are afraid of change. They get set in their ways, the unknown and things like that. So fear is a very strong factor in why we don't take advantage of opportunities. And then, are you currently living the financial life that you planned? You know, do you have everything set, that you have everything in a row, and so now you're living the life you'd like to live? And these next couple slides are kind of a doom and gloom slides, but they are reality. It's like bankruptcy in April of 2012 reached the highest level it has ever reached, and there was 422,000 bankruptcies. And then we had the housing crisis, and 1 in 10 mortgages holders face foreclosure, and that's based on MSNBC.com. And then another one is poverty, and this was kind of amazing to me that in America in 2011, 14% of us, or 43 million Americans, so 1 in 7, were on poverty. And then the real national debt. This is the thing that I think shocks a lot of people, and because of all these zeros, this is $56 trillion. So our government is our national debt is horrifically horrible. We're over $56 trillion, and that can be found on the Peter G. Foundation, so you can go there to verify that. And then this kind of is a slide I like to put in there because we are all slaves to the credit card, and so this kind of duplicated and demonstrated how the majority of America is slaves to the credit card industry, and it's literally killing us. And then, so how do we fix the situation? And the way we fix the situation is with the Tranont OneView. Okay, this brings us to the OneView screen, which is once you log on to the Tranont OneView. The reason it's called OneView is because everything is at an eye's glance on one screen. You'll have your cash flow, and your credit cards, you see everything right there. Also, it says Wells Fargo bank account. It does not give you your account information. It just tells you, so if you have a Wells Fargo bank and Bank of America or credit unions, you can have all your banks on there. It'll list all the banks and the credit cards and the balances and things like that is on them. It also shows you where your network is at. It shows you how close you are sticking to your budget. And then this center screen right here is the most powerful part, because the red part shows where you'd be at without the OneView tool. The green part is how quickly you're going to be paying off. And then the blue is the projected asset value that you would have at the end of 30 years. Instead of simply being out of debt, you have a projected asset value. Then over here, of course, is your calendar, and then the to-do list. It gives you exactly a list of things to do and when to do it. And then it has the red and the green, so when it's done, you check mark it off like you just do on a piece of paper. When you're done, you cross it off. Well, you can check mark this off, and you know when it is done. And then we have this gentleman, his name is David Allen, and he was one of our beta testers. And the reason we call our tool like a financial GPS, because like a GPS in your car, you're driving along and you make a left turn instead of a right turn. It says recalculating, and so it goes over the scenario that they have to kind of reprogram the best route to get to where you want to be at. And so the Tranont OneView tool does the same thing. Yeah, this gentleman, David Allen, he agreed to not detour from the roadmap, to do exactly what they said so we can get a solid, good, strong, accurate beta test to see how well it really worked without, the detours and hiccups along the road and things like that. So David Allen, before Tranont, he had a mortgage balance of about $210,000. He had the unsecured debit cards, which is about your unsecured debt, which is your debit cards, your car payments, and different things like that, of $43,000. So his total debt was nearly $254,000, and was a projected payoff of 30 years. And I don't know if most of you know or not, but the credit cards, the very minimum payments you make, they do that so it can be stretched out over a 30-year period of time. And so some of you may have known that, and some of you may not have known that, but the minimum payment will stretch your credit card payment out over a 30-year period of time. So we go with his unsecured debt first, and he was going to be projected to pay off in 30 years, $43,000 at 16% interest. This number over here is real, but it is sickening. It was $167,000 on top of the principal. This is just the interest alone. And so it's 4 times that amount that he has to pay in interest. And where does your interest come from? Where does that money come from? That, along with the principal, comes out of your pocket. So, so what he did now is he paid off his debt in, excuse me, next slide. 3 years and 5 months. He's able to pay that off. And not only did he pay it off, he saved $154,000 worth of interest, 26 years on his paying it off, and just, when you pay off one debt, you stack it and add it to, anyway, once all of the unsecured debt was paid off, he now has a cash flow of an additional $480 cash flow that he no longer needs for his credit card debt. And then we go into the mortgage. It was projected to pay off in 30 years, and the interest is about 6%. It's $243,000, so he's paying more than double for his home, and he'd have projected pay off in 30 years. And so now with the OneView tool, he was able to save $181,000 on his interest alone, and he was able to get it paid off in 9 years. And so then we have David Allen before Tranont OneView. It was $253,000. Nearly $254,000, with an additional $411,000 of the interest also. But with the OneView tool, he was able to save $335,354 of interest alone, plus 17.5 years off of his payment. And so now we've got the so we have the projected asset value. So not only, so that's where the blue comes into play, is without the OneView, it'd take him 30 years to pay it off, and he'd be at zero. So at least he's zeroed out, his slate's clean. But now with the OneView tool, he's able to save 17 years, $335,000, and now we start the asset growth. So he no longer has a mortgage payment, he no longer has his unsecured credit cards, and so he has a projected asset value. In the same 30 years, he has nearly $1 million as opposed to just being zeroed out. And so, and this is really, what I really like about this is this person, Linda, CFP, means Certified Financial Planner. This person has been trained, she understands finances and everything, and her knowing everything she knows, she herself was able to save over $100,000 in interest on her mortgage within the first 6 months. So if a person that is trained and knows all about finances can save that much, how much can the everyday person that has not been trained in that be able to save it? And this other gentleman at age 60, he was able to have all of his credit card debt paid off within the first year, and now he's been able to live on a cash basis and loving it. And then, like I said, just one more real quick view is the OneView tool, and then ask yourself, am I willing to change life? And then what I want you to do now is kind of go over a little bit about the OneView tool. I want to just give a real quick preview of the features and the powerful tool that makes the